absolutely delighted to have been invited to attend the launch of this really important report today. And the fact that the project supported by such a wide range of partners underlines the real importance of this work. So I'd also particularly like to thank Dr. Buller from Wise Kids, the Children's Commissioner, and his office for standing in at the last minute, S4C and Logicalis for their commitment to this research. I'd also particularly like to thank the young people themselves who are directly involved in enabling this project to be undertaken so successfully. And it's obvious to all of us that the biggest change in our society in recent times is the widespread universal use of new technologies, particularly amongst younger people. The pace of the technological change is astonishing even to those of us who perhaps were expecting it. And it's a huge challenge for governments, consortia of local authorities, schools, teachers and parents to harness the change to help digitally enabled learners, digital citizens, as Sanjit called them, which I think is a great phrase which I'm going to pinch without any apology, I think. I really hope that the Welsh Government is able to harness this. It's absolutely essential to our country that we do so. And we are working really hard to provide schools with the tools needed to harness it properly for our children. For example, we've got the investment of the Learning in Digital Wales grant, which was announced in 2013. So almost all schools in Wales have now benefited from improvements in enhanced internet connectivity and in-school Wi-Fi provision, which opens up real opportunities for schools in every corner of Wales to deliver 21st century teaching and learning experiences. In July this year, Estyn published its report on IT at Key Stage 3 and highlighted that, at present, the level of web filtering and blocking of internet sites is a real constraint on the range of activities that can be done in class in the majority of schools. I was really struck by that aspect of the outline in the report. I haven't had a chance to properly read it yet, but I will be. Because it's obvious that we cannot provide faster pathways to the vast stores of educational content on the internet, only then to have learners prevented from accessing it because our web filters and so on are set up for a different time and age. So this is a piece of work that we really need to get right. So my officials are working with local authorities, regional education consortia and schools on developing a series of web filtering standards that will aim to encourage greater consistency of access to internet services for all teachers and learners. So in December 2012, the Hub, the All Wales Learning Platform, was launched. I have to say, I'm not fond of that name. I think it's we might need to find something a bit more interesting as a learning platform name. But anyway, Hub for now. And this Hub online platform provides learners and teachers in Wales with a wide range of quality-assured bilingual learning resources and enables the sharing of good practice materials within a safe online environment. This is the sort of thing that we really want to push in Wales. We need to make sure that all of our children have access to this sort of really good content and that they learn how to use it in that safe online environment. Because Hub gives teachers across Wales a wide range of tools to enable technology-rich collaborative working with their students from any device connected to the internet, and that's the important point about the technology available in schools. You'll also all be aware that a fundamental review encompassing all aspects of the curriculum and assessment in Wales is currently underway. And that includes IT and digital literacy, and it's being undertaken by Professor Donaldson. He's been asked to consider the independent report on IT and computing and its key 12 recommendations as part of the wider review of the curriculum as a whole, and we're expecting his report very early in the new year. And I'll just say as an aside that I am completely and utterly dedicated to that. I've been pushing computing at schools in particular for a very long time, so I'm very, very keen to see that is a fundamental part of our new curriculum review. Since September 2014, as part of the 3 million investment in improving computer science, digital literacy and ICT, the Welsh Government has also been running a series of computing workshops focusing on Key Stage 3 in secondary schools in Wales. Because digital skills are an absolute necessity in today's society. Our flagship digital event, Digital 2014, focused on digital skills and culminated in a young person's manifesto being presented to my predecessor, Ken Skates. This manifesto directly resulted in over 361 pledges of support on the day from industry and education representatives to help young people realise their potential in the IT and digital sector. Our work on digital inclusion, led by the Minister for Communities and Tackling Poverty, is also absolutely essential to this agenda, and it recognises the need to ensure that as many people as possible, regardless of their backgrounds, can take advantage of the opportunities that digital technologies offer. While the digital inclusion work is focused on getting adults to improve their lives through the use of technology, school-aged children will clearly benefit by living in households that have the required access and skills to maximise the opportunities that the internet can offer. Developing the digital skills of communities can lead to greater economic opportunities, a more equal society, and improved social cohesion. All the evidence suggests that disadvantaged learners benefit greatly from the effective use of digital technology. And in September of this year, we invited schools to put forward bids for up to £10,000 each to develop digital technology inclusion projects targeted at this particular learner group. This has led to grant funding over 53,000 for 7 projects being approved, and we're going to use these as case studies to share with schools the kinds of innovative approaches that can be used to improve outcomes for learners in those low-income households. It also needs to be recognised that the digital world can present many dangers, as we've just been hearing. So teaching our children and their parents how to stay safe online is vitally important. And I will say as well that I think the whole issue about keeping abreast of what the children are currently using is a really big issue for us. I'm actually a really keen Minecraft user, which a lot of people think is weird. But the reason I learned to do that is because I have 2 sons and I needed to be able to communicate with them. And I found being able to communicate inside the Minecraft game was a very, very useful tool. And even now, my sons are older now, even now, occasionally one of them will say, "Mind, my mum is on here," as part of the chat. So I find that very, very interesting skill that a lot of parents could usefully learn. Earlier this year, we awarded a contract to South West Grid for Learning to deliver e-safety awareness-raising activities and to provide e-safety tools and resources for teachers and pupils and parents. And in October, the Minister for Education and Skills, Hugh Lewis, launched a suite of e-safety tools and resources to deliver a digital citizenship programme, from foundation phase right through to Key Stage 4, as well as releasing an award-winning self-assessment tool for schools. Our key resources will be made available through the e-safety zone on Hub, which will also have an area dedicated to supporting parents. And our digital inclusion programme, Communities 2.0, supports adults from the most digitally excluded groups to get online and incorporates safety into all of its sessions as well. We also work with Welsh Baccalaureate students to help older people get online, and this community development work is going to be further encouraged. I mean, it's an absolutely brilliant way of stopping social exclusion, especially in rural communities. Once you've taught somebody older how to get onto Skype and how to stay in touch with their family, their lives are often transformed. And it's a tool we really have got to use right across the piece. I also find it's a great way of encouraging intergenerational inclusion, which is, I'm really very keen on doing that. So as I hope you're hearing, we're addressing many of the issues that are being raised today by these research findings. I'm asking my officials to carefully review the information presented, to make sure that we are identifying any gaps in our curriculum, to make sure that we're keeping Professor Donaldson up to date with where we are in our thinking, and to support our schools, parents and young people online. So thank you so much for bringing it to us today, and I'm really glad to be part of it.